So this, oh, well, we're better because we have the posh jobs. You motherfuckers couldn't survive. I'm going to say, you motherfuckers couldn't survive shit.
I've been in New Orleans all my life, all the way up until Hurricane Katrina. I've never met a Haitian.
He said, and I quote, Black Americans are basically considered the coolest people on earth.
He spent $2.5 billion, and then he signed the
That
executive
money,
order.
can I tell you something? Can I tell you something?
These scary ass Negroes are part of the reason why we're where we are. Well, we haven't gotten any further. Chicago, I stand and I rock with y'all delineating. I rock with y'all calling out these politicians. I rock with y'all getting these illegals out of the way so babies can go back and having their after-school programs so you can build up your communities and have what you need. Well, it's good to be one family. What it is, what it do. Sipping on some Java brew. You know what it do. That's a little sip, you know what I'm saying? A delicious coffee, you know what I'm saying? So, funny thing, that just reminded me, my grandmother, rest in peace too, Juanita Faye Owens, coffee. That's where my love for coffee came from, but it was always cold. I had the first cold brew, unintentional. And my granny, she would drink coffee and she'd leave it out. She would never drink cold, but she always put a lot of sugar in it. So you know what we was drinking for? The sugar content. But we didn't realize the caffeine was gonna have us on 10. That was the first energy drink. And so she knew she left the coffee down. She didn't have to worry about pouring it out. Because her grandbabies came over, it was a wrap. It was a wrap, yeah. Granny, can I have your coffee? And that's why my kids be trying to get my coffee. You know, and I think about it, I ain't letting them do it. Nope. My kids' energy levels already off the roof. Give them some coffee. Man, I ain't gonna never turn them off. Bedtime, they're gonna still be up 7 o'clock from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. doing this. Just, you know, kids be doing random stuff. Like, Dad, my dance, look at my dance. Boy, go to sleep. But yeah, I'll miss my grandmother for that. Oh man. Little bit short lady, about 5'1". She leave that coffee down. Granny, can I have your coffee? Get the coffee, boy. Get the coffee. Thank you. Of course, I had a full head of hair. No, there was no beard. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of beards, real quick, respect their roots. The shine, the luster, the fullness thereof. Respect the roots. I've used the product before. Went back to them because I like to see what people are doing. One thing I will say is what they've done new since I first was introduced to them. They only had their conditioner cream, right? And now they have a oil, which is what was demanded by their customer base. I remember that time. And they got a co-wash. Their co-wash smells amazing. And actually low-key tastes good. Not that I was trying to eat some co-wash, but it's all natural ingredients. It foams up, and you put it, I make sure I put it on my mustache too. You know what I'm saying? Help it grow in these little spots right here, you know what I'm saying? You know, you want the connection. You want a fully connected beard, you feel me? And I was putting it on there, you know what I'm saying? You let it set and wash it off, and a little bit got, it's kind of delicious. So shout out to Respect the Roots. You have a great co-wash. I think your co-wash is top one co-washes I've used. And I've used a gang of beard products. If you go through my channel, go back some years, I put a lot of different beard companies, beard products and natural products for the face on. Caused by Nature, Grit, G for Men, Royal Mane was my first one. I loved Royal Mane. And it was them, it was Nature Boy. Not the weirdo Nature Boy, but Nature Boy, the beard guy. It was, Nature Boy, Respect the Roots. My homegirl, she had a brand, Vera's Kids. That was her grandmother. Man, I did a gang of them. I did a gang of product reviews for Black-owned companies back then. And I'm trying to integrate it with the rest of this content. That way we can have, some other things to do. because we still got to build. We can call out all the nonsense that we see. We can call out the foolery, but we got to build while we're doing that. All right, and we got to give people avenues and lanes that they can move into while we move the bad actors out. Like we can't just say, hey, we need to get these folk out of construction and not have folk ready to go back in construction. Then what we're doing, we're at a standstill. Having to get them trained up takes time. Having them proficient and confident and competent takes time. You got to build that. So we got to do both. We got to call out the nonsense, the foolery, the chicanery, and all that stuff. At the same time, building up to replace and plug us in these spaces. So yeah, that's one thing we got to do, man. That's one of the many things we got to do, and we're gonna do it because we know what to do. Being one family, I gotta go. So my son's in trouble, but he's not in trouble at the same time. So there's a student in his class that has been doing this number. I will talk about parenting real quick, and how parenting can be a slippery slope, and how I try to parent a little bit more different or a little bit better, in my opinion, than my parents. I told my son, hey, you can't be a young man, a male out here doing this number. Especially other males. You steady going and going and going and going. Because that male eventually will be like, okay, pop, pop, and pop you in your mouth. They gonna pop you in your mouth because you keep talking. Men don't do well with that. We don't do well with that type of disrespect, especially from another male. Well, if he's been dealing with that, he ain't told me, or his teachers. That's why he's in trouble. Those are the only reasons why he's in trouble, because he didn't go up the chain, and I'll explain why. But the other day, he gave somebody 2 good hooks, bow, bow, to the jaw, because they kept talking. They've been talking. I'm not going to punish him for that, because I can't tell him, you don't be that type of man, you don't be that type of male, and then a male does that, and then I punish him for responding the way a male would naturally respond when another male is talking to him crazy. Long period of time, like, hey, bro, go about your way, man. I'm going to ignore you. But you keep going, a male's going to respond that way. Like, any of my FBA brothers, we on code. But I get to talking, man, you look like this, and I keep going and keep going and keep going. And you like, all right, bro, chill, it's over. And I keep going. Your natural proclivity will be to bop, bop. Like, hey, I told you, it's over. Now you're getting to being disrespectful. And for a man, for a male, respect is paramount. Respect is paramount. So I'm not going to punish him for that, because that's kind of bipolar. You don't be the type of male that runs his mouth because you're going to get punched in the mouth. But then when a male approaches him being the type of male I told him not to be, I punish him for that. So it's a catch-22. I'm not going to teach my children catch-22s. Now, what he is in trouble for, and I'm kicking him off the internet, you didn't tell the teacher. Because my rule is you tell the teacher. The teacher don't do nothing, you tell the principal. The principal don't do nothing, you tell me. All right? And if it happens and you have boop, 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 guess what? I can be fully in your corner, because now I got my documentation. Hey, well, my son told teacher such and such on this day, right? Yeah, he did. Okay, because I got documented. My son told the principal on this day, and y'all did nothing. Yeah, so why is my son in trouble? If he goes through the proper channels, why is he in trouble? Now I can be fully in your corner because, hey, he told y'all didn't do nothing. And that son I got your boy looking good, but it's cooking. It is cooking. Be one family. Let me switch to the other side real quick. They ain't do nothing. The sun's already up and over. We finna go inside real quick. What you sipping on? Coffee. 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 Sipping on Java. Coffee. 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 sipping on Java.
And you're from New York, as you mentioned.
Right,
You went to school where?
In Alabama at a place called Tuskegee Institute.
Mm-hmm.
And,
So what were you studying there?
Engineering.
You were going to be an engineer?
No. I was just going basically to pacify the family, you know, and just make my and then I quit.
How many of y'all knew the wonderful, the amazing, the hyper-talented Keenan Ivory Wayans? Not Keenan Wayans. You gotta say the whole thing. Like a Tribe Called Quest. Keenan Ivory Wayans went to Tuskegee. I didn't know that. I didn't know he went to Tuskegee. At all. I didn't know at all. Like, I just always thought he's been in comedy and he did great. He put his brothers and sisters on. He got the family on point. Like, he put the family on. Oh, you want to do this? All right. Him, Kim, she did it for a time. Then she stepped away. I think she started a family with a spouse at the time and had children. Kim Wayans, Damon, then Sean and Marlon. Put his family on. Put them on. What? And then all the other folk he put on, Jamie Foxx, David Allen Greer, Tommy Davidson, Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, two of the funniest movies of the time. Would not have happened had not the Wayans brothers, Keenan in particular, put that man on. Because Hollywood wasn't fooling with Jim Carrey. Remember, Jim Carrey's Canadian. Yeah, Jim Carrey's Canadian. So we wouldn't have a bunch of great and funny movies and funny films. And ones that even though they didn't pop, they were still funny. Blank Man is funny. Blank Man is funny. And the fact that it didn't get the push it was supposed to is crazy. A Low Down Dirty Shame is actually a good movie. It's got a whole bunch of funny parts in there. They introduced LGBT without it being weird. It's before I'm not gonna come for J.D. Pinkett. J.D. Pinkett was fine in that though. Man, it was a really good movie. It had action. Shout out to the Wayans brothers. Shout out to Keenan. Now the Boule. The Boule's been around a long time, and I'm starting to realize the Boule, Eastern Star, Jack and Jill are all interconnected. And they're interconnected with, especially Eastern Star. If you notice Eastern Star, their colors seem to be tied in with AKA. And so I spoke before about the presence, the heavy presence I noticed of Step 5 Step, which is me making fun of all these sororities and fraternities. So I'm like, dang, Step 5 Step is here everywhere. Like it's a lot of Step 5 Step. And then I noticed it was in leadership. Oh, okay. So it's basically a big giant clique, an interconnecting clique, a web of folk who probably have that talent and 10th mindset. We're the creme de la creme, and everyone else is peons. But everyone else is what's funneling or the base financially for you guys to have what you have. And you're not giving back to the base. And so I want to see this clip, and I want to share it with you guys, and we'll discuss it.
So FBA, tell me what you think about this clip. If you're not FBA, I don't want you saying nothing or commenting. I will erase it. So this is FBA conversation only.
Subscribe to a tradition of black elitism, decadence, and non-accomplished celebration, where an overemphasis is placed upon social status, material possession, and celebration, upholding a culture of proud false accomplishment rather than independent institutional foundation. These aspects have permeated the sociology of the black community. People spend exorbitant amounts of money to impress people they don't even know. This materialistic ideology runs rampant throughout the black community, and these organizations are at the forefront of the perpetuation of vapid materialism, gross decadence, and black elitism.
I believe it. I believe it wholeheartedly. That's how the Boule moves. We have the nicest stuff. We're so much better. But your so much better comes off the backs of the working class, foundational black Americans. The working class. See, I don't care if you're a doctor. You could be the best surgeon in the world, you can't do surgery outside. You can't do it outside. You need to be in a hospital facility, and you need to be in a OR room that is specifically designed to be low lint with air, constant air coming down, pushing any lint or any particulate that's in the air down to the floor. You can't just come in there with your regular clothes. You have to go through and get scrubbed down. I.e., you got to put on low lint to no lint scrubs. And then you have to wash your hands in a particular way. Yes, surgeons have to wash their hands. I used to not necessarily service them, but I made sure they worked. I used to be a biomed, so I had to go into OR. I've been in these rooms. I've seen it firsthand. It's constant air blowing down. And there's a specific area that the patient has to be in. That's the most concentrated. And that's the like this, it's like an invisible veil that you don't enter this veil. So you have an area where people can kind of move and operate and get stuff, bring equipment through and from the surgery area. And there's an area where the OR takes place, where the patient's not moved out of in fear of particularly getting in their body and there's an infection. You can't be a surgeon without all that. So you need your blue collar plumber, carpenter, mason, construction guy, electrical. You need your regular everyday common jobs to put it all together and do it competently so you can be able to do your surgery. You have to have that. You can't do nothing without them. It goes hand in hand. All right? So we're better because we have the posh jobs. You motherfuckers couldn't survive. I'm going to say, you motherfuckers couldn't survive shit. If it all goes bad today, I know who I'm calling. I'm calling the builders. I'm not calling the surgeons. I'm not calling the lawyers. I'm not calling these posh jobs where you sit in the office and you can primp and prep and do all that all day. I'm calling the people who get out there and sweat. I'm calling the mechanics. Hey, the electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, hey, people that get down and dirty, deal with the grease and the grime and all that stained clothes and all this and smelling like machinery, that's who I'm calling because we're going to get some shit built. You mofos going to be sitting there, we have to go outside in the heat? But I'm a sweat. No, head asses.
Black Americans have no culture.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying. The moment you ain't got no culture, well, who are y'all? Y'all don't know who you are. You're in the culture. They do everything we do. So I'm sharing this because this sister is doing something I didn't know about until I saw it on TikTok. So if you're in the Memphis area, check it out. I'm super busy. However, I do want to make time to go and see. If she's doing beginner gardening and giving us game, I just talked about, hey, we need to start doing hydroponics if we need to. If you can't grow out, grow up. You feel me? Now, I don't know if the music's going to be on there because I don't know if it's AI or not. But there might be music. If you didn't hear the music, it was AI. I mean, it was real music. If you heard the music, it was AI and whatever. But we got to start growing our own food again. If you're able to do something and you can get it at a good deal on Amazon or at your local store, I don't know, Big Lots. I don't know if there's any Big Lots open up north. I don't think there's any more open down here in the South. But Big Lots will carry little weird things like that from time to time. If you see it in Aldi, grab it. Grab one. Start with one. You got to get 4, 5 of them and start with one because you may struggle with that. You got to learn that process. It's a whole new thing you got to learn and take care of. and guard and protect. And, so you got to make sure you're on point. So don't go grabbing a whole bunch of them. Grab the one, work that, and once you're comfortable, add another one. Let's be able to feed ourselves like our grandparents used to do and our great-grandparents.
Summers are for farmers markets, and the Black Farmers Market in Memphis just opened for its 5th season. I talked to the organizer about the market during a previous season, and I asked her what she would say to people who questioned the need for a Black farmers market.
Our connection to the land and agriculture is very potent, but if you look at us from 1920 until now, there's not even about 2% of Black farmers. And while we know that urban farming and things like that are growing, it's still not a great percentage.
She's right. According to the USDA, Black producers made up 1.4% of the more than 3 million farmers in the U.S.
That's in part because the funding, Black farmers get denied that. Black farmers, here's the rub. This is what pisses me off because it's the story, tell as old as time. We get denied proper or equitable funding. We get denied that. But when the group doesn't get any funding, because we make a lot happen with a little bit. And that's why they don't want to give us reparations. They don't want to repair us because they repair us. They know we're going to take over. We're just going to be financially set. And they're terrified of that. But when it came down to getting the funding did right and brought back to farmers, it was a Black man championing that. That older brother, I remember him. He was championing that. But he was also the one who said, because this is where you messed up, brother. I know you're an elder. Well, you're an older. I don't know if you're an elder per se. Only people that know you would know that. But you saying people of color, your language had that people of color tint on it. It had that people of color blanket on it. So, of course, they're going to give it to the other folk first and put you last. But we're the one that champion it. FBA is championing these things. But when your rhetoric is so used to, well, let me be all-encompassing, you're going to get put at the back burner. And yeah, these Black farmers make it do what it do, even though they're getting threatened on their farmland, they couple. And folk coming through and at night threatening to harm them. And they're walking their farmland and they're trying to scope out and see when the sister was going to be by herself. However, we make it work and we do a great job. Imagine what happens if we get adequate funding like we're supposed to have, which is equitable. It's fair and equitable to have that. Oh my gosh. And we grow the best. We grow the best. You can't have hundreds of years of slavery forcing us to till the crops, till the ground, and we not be the best. George Washington Carver, anybody?
This is a space trying to bring light back to the things that we have lost as a culture, but it is also inclusive, so we welcome all folks.
Also, this market is in South Memphis. It's an area that is considered a, quote, food desert, which means that people don't have regular access to nutritious and affordable food. So this really is an opportunity for both farmers and consumers to strengthen the local food economy. And there's plenty of time to make your way here if you're in the Memphis area. It runs through September, every Tuesday from 3 to 6 at Pilgrim Rest Church.
Bam. So you know where it's at during the summer. I'm going to make sure that's where I go. Because I went to some other farmers market that was close by. It like the fruit had like a chemically type taste on it. The watermelon specifically, it was like, what's that aftertaste?
I've been in New Orleans all my life, all the way up until Hurricane Katrina. I've never met a Haitian.
Now this is what I've been waiting to hear from a native of New Orleans, from a native of Louisiana. New Orleans in particular, Louisiana. Louisiana, yeah, now let me stop saying that because they might try to do that. Louisiana in general. Sister, go all the way off. Go off, sis.
If I did, I didn't know it. But yet and still, when you go look at his story, they'll tell you that the Haitians had all of this influence. Now, this is the gag about this Haiti influence. Just like Nigeria. They have all this influence all over the world except at home.
Say what now? Say it again, sis. Oh, they have all this influence all over the world except at home. What we call them EBA, everywhere but Africa. EBH, everywhere but Haiti. EBJ, everywhere but Jamaica. Lord of mercy.
You mean to tell me Haiti can influence New Orleans to be great, but Haiti can influence Haiti to be great? Same thing with Africa. Africa can influence America to be great, but Africa can't influence Africa to be great.
And here's the rub. They want us to ignore that. They want us to wholeheartedly ignore the nonsense they spew. So you can do all that over here, but you can't do it over there. What is different about over there and over here? Oh, we're here. What did Jesus say? We're here now. That's old news. Got a couple Porsche trucks, couple old schools. I'll line your ass up, push your taper backwards. Cause I'm a real and I don't like rappers. And that ain't this, and this ain't that. And she's spitting facts. We're the secret sauce. We are the coup de grace. We are it. In fact, some would say we're the cool kids of the world.
So one of my non-black friends just told me something that I cannot stop thinking about. He said, and I quote, Black Americans are basically considered the coolest people on earth. And at first, I laughed because, obviously. But then I started really thinking about it. And y'all, this is actually deep. Because think about how much of what the world considers cool comes from Black American culture. The music, the slang, the fashion, the dancing, the hairstyles, the way we talk, the humor, the way we turn literally nothing into a whole cultural moment. We'll say something in somebody's kitchen on Tuesday, and by Friday, the entire internet is saying it.
I remember we used to say things like tight. First time I ever heard it, I knew what it meant, I knew how it went, and I knew the context of it. Because I heard somebody say, I was like, oh, man, that's tight. I automatically knew, oh, that's cool. Because cool, we stopped saying cool. When he was like, man, that's tight, bro. Then the W's got hold of it. We was like, oh, something else new. That's crunk. Oh, man, that's player, bro. That's player. We understand it. It's in the DNA. The first time somebody did that, I immediately did it back. Never did it before. Nobody needs to explain to me. I didn't need a manual. Here's a manual. Here's a guide. All right, so page 35, right there, middle of the page. When someone nods at you, it means this. Oh, wow, thank you. No, none of that. Immediately did that. What's good? You know what I'm saying? This is different, but this is, we know. And then the world started doing it. Huh? And then we're like, oh, it's something else, because now it's no longer cool. See, our coolness is exclusive to us. Once the whole world is doing it, it becomes less cool because they make it corny, they make it lame. They take something and make it weird. They have to over dissect it and try to break it down and make it scientific. Hey, slow down. You lamifying our coolness, and we don't like that. But we are the cool kids of the world. Think about it. People, this sister, Hips for You to Love. She has a Harley Davidson. I think she has a 26-inch wheel up front or a 30. It's a huge wheel. Pretty paint job. Oh, let me go. No, we're going to show y'all. This sister, fellas, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. Now, fellas, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble, all right? Tell them it's for educational purposes only. However, look how pretty her bike is. Don't be. Look at the wheel. Custom paint job, everything matching up. Chrome where it needs to be, color where it needs to be. Big wheel, riding big girl style. They cost some serious bread. So I stitched her video on my biker content side, and the first thing, show me where you spend your money. They don't know how to ride and all that stuff. And it's from the W folk. When we do something, we got the baggers with the speakers in the back and all that. Oh, they don't know how to ride. No. It's cool. And you can't do it. Because you do it, you're going to do all this American Eagle stuff, and it's gonna look corny. You're gonna do the Confederate flag, and it's gonna look corny. You can't be cool. We do this, and this is what we do. That's natural to us. And she's on IG if y'all want to follow her. Fellas, don't do it though. Don't do it. Don't get in trouble.
And what's fascinating to me is that Black Americans have had this very strange position where people can simultaneously look down on us while studying us and criticizing us, while copying us and distancing themselves from Blackness while consuming Black culture every single day. And that is the part that I think people are uncomfortable with talking about. Because I'm not saying that everybody secretly wants to be Black. That's too simplistic. I'm saying Black American culture has an absolutely ridiculous amount of cultural influence for a group of people that this country has historically tried very hard to marginalize. Like, how are you going to discriminate against the people and at the same time ask us what we're wearing next?
That's Tiffany Nicole on TikTok. And she's absolutely right. It's always been this catch-22 weird positioning where it's like, hey, I can't stand you. I hate everything about you. However, where'd you get those shoes? I was just want to know where you get those shoes. That's probably why they made it Google Glass or the Google feature where you can take a picture and scan it and find out what's something so they can secretly get our drip. They can do it in private without having to come ask us, hey, LaDaviante and Bushika, I hate you Jigaboo monkeys with a passion, but you look so cool. Where'd you get your drip? Because they know we're not gonna fly. It's like, bitch, did you just call us Jigaboo monkey? I'd whoop. I'll whoop your ass, goddamn. It's this sick relationship they want to have with us. And we're not standing for it. See, they was able to kind of position the tethers in a way where we let them in. And now that we delineate, it's like, dang, how do we know the newest thing that's coming up? Because they'll be on our page. They'll follow us because they want to know what's going on so they can come back and repackage it, put it out there, and they know the algorithm is going to push them. They know that. Because something that happened to a rapper and a Black person will do a whole breakdown, what happened to beef and stuff like that, and you have to find it by doom scrolling. They'll do the same thing and it's pushed to you 2 swipes in. You see it like, okay. And then you see the Black person, it makes it seem like the Black person was after the fact. They copied the white person when in fact, the white person's 3 weeks late. They waited until we did it, take what we did and repackage it, and the algorithm's like, here you go. Bradley, we got you, Bradley. Don't worry about that. Daviante will suppress his content and we'll push Bradley to the top. Shout out to our brother Afro Elite. Looks like he had a backpack event, a giveaway for the kids and stuff like that. And from my understanding, this video clip was taken, I guess, I don't know if it's directly after the event or during the event or surrounding the event. But from the caption, it mentioned our brother Afro Elite. So I presume that this was in connection of it. Not saying our brother's preaching MAGA, and I'm doing that just for clarification because somebody take the clip and say, oh, MyBlackU universe said you. No, we're not doing that. But shout out to our brother for doing that. This clip is from surrounding that event, and it looks like there's an older cat and a younger sister having a conversation about flipping red. This is gonna be interesting.
You were not giving money to run the city.
He
They
had
controlled it.
16.7 billion, and he spent 2.5 billion, and then he signed the executive
money,
order.
can I tell you something? Can I tell you
to
something?
keep funding them.
That money
but Trump
was
tried to release him enough out of here so we don't have to pay for him.
No.
So the white Jews couldn't. If you said the white Jews did that. So Trump tried to get him up out of here so he wouldn't have that problem.
Oh, you a Trumper? You a Trumper? You with Trump?
Listen to what I'm saying.
So it cuts into the conversation. The conversation had been taking place already. And immediately, he's like, well, no, Biden and his money, yeah, he wasn't, he couldn't really do this, that, and other. She's like explaining to him, like, no, he used that money to help bring these illegals in. Trump's trying to push him out. And the first thing, oh, you're a Trumper? You're a Trumper? When Jason Black says, you got to watch these old niggas, unfortunately, he's talking about somebody's grandpa, possibly great-grandpa. And a lot of us got it. There's family members I have that you get to talk about politics, they know vote blue no matter who. And that's all they know. No matter if it's to the detriment of the future, their future, vote blue no matter who. Let come what may. I'm about to die anyway.
With Biden, because I just told you, you said what he couldn't do. I'm saying, okay,
Chicago.
If that was the case, why didn't he let him give those illegals and take them out of here so we could take the money and spend it on us? Why is he signing executive orders to protect them if that was the case? Because that's all we want to do is that our money is being spent on us, sir. We don't want
Because the Jews is the one bringing the Hispanic in.
And at that moment, that's when I knew Paul was lost in the sauce. Biden's the president. But the Jews bring them in. He's the president. The secret meeting, don't forget. So I'm glad we do what we do. Don't forget. He was the one that was telling the Boule, you're going to have to work with the Hispanics and Latinos. That was first 2 months in office? That conversation leaked? The little meeting secret meeting they had? Which is why we've never been a fan of the Boule or these celebrity Negroes, because they want to go have secret meetings about us without including us in the conversation. This is why when cats get to a certain age, you got to push them out. You have to make them ineffective because they come through and do a Judge Joe Brown on you. You're like, man, you was solid. What happened? You're human. That's why you have new life. That's why it happens this way.
Okay,
And the
but
money-
Biden opened the border, sir.
It don't matter.
It
who
do matter.
opened the
That's
border.
it does.
Hey, then you're
Right now,
are you a Trumpy?
right now,
Are you a
sir,
Trumpy?
right
you
now,
Trump? You with
right now
Trump?
we have the
Are
most
you
secure
with Trump?
border, so it do
You
matter.
with Trump? Trump is our enemy.
So are the
And this is why we call them olders and not elders. You're so concerned with you with Trump. She's talking to you about policies and what has happened. Chicago was decimated. I remember seeing the reports. Shout out to our brother Afro Lee, because he got out in the streets and he was talking to the illegals. You can say what you want about our brother, but he was boots on the ground talking to the illegals, asking them how much they was getting, how much money they was getting, what kind of benefits they was getting. They was talking to them and let them know, they was getting chipped off. They were shutting down after school programs and buildings to house illegals. Our babies, they say, oh, Chicago is shooting, Chicago. So you take away the only thing they can do, where they can go swimming, play basketball, tennis, all these buildings where they're supposed to be able to go and have after-school programs to keep them out of trouble, you shut it down and house the illegals. And our sisters saying, hey, look, this is what's happening, and this was under Biden's watch. You're with Trump. You're with Trump. You're with Trump. I want you to say it so I can just shut it down and I can say something nasty to you because I have failed to think about the future. I was only thinking about being myself. Am I a Trump supporter? No. Damn sure not a Biden supporter. However, and at the same time, see, two things can be true. I cannot be a Trump supporter and also like the fact that Trump is like, hey, these illegals got to go. They got to go. I'm sorry. Because I'm not sorry. Out there in West Texas, look the story up. There's an illegal who RAP and killed a little 12-year-old girl. I remember reading that story because she was at home by herself. This was Odessa. She's at home by herself. Her dad's at work. And she's called Dad. This dude walking around the house. He's walking around the house. He's walking around the house. He's like, okay, well, just don't keep the door locked, whatever. He's at work. Now, mind you, this is a Latino dude. I suspect he was, he's legal. He might have been born here, whatever. He gets off work. He comes to the house. He doesn't see his daughter. They think she got kidnapped. Come to find out, dude violated her, stuffed her in the trash bag, and put her under the bed. When they found this bastard, he was in Louisiana. Anybody knows the longest trip from anywhere east of Texas to California, and you got to go through Texas, the longest part of your trip is going through Texas. Midland and Odessa is about 5 hours from Fort Worth, Texas. I know, I used to drive it for work. I would go home on a Friday. I would get up about 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock on a Monday, drive my butt to work, and go to work all day, sleep in my car. I've already told that story. You gotta go find my old videos. I might tell it again, I don't know. That illegal bastard would have got away with it. If he could have got back over the border, no justice. No justice. Because there's some of them that do these crimes. And they're like, wasn't there an African who committed a crime and jumped right back on a plane and went back overseas? Can't do nothing about it now. You really gonna spend that much money to try to go overseas and find them amongst that chaos where they don't have infrastructure in place? You're not. That's the danger of it. You can be sisters, you can be violated by one of these jokers and they escape and skip town, escape, and can never be held responsible for harming you. Brothers, one of these jokers can run you off the road because they be driving, they be just giving them license, they don't know what the hell they doing. They be drunk as hell. Run you off the road, make it where you have the inability to walk and skip back over town, out of town, and never be seen again, never be held responsible. That's the danger of illegals. And no other country does that. They don't do the illegal things. Ghanaians kicking out Nigerians. What was it? Argentinians are kicking out Nigerians and anybody else that's not Argentine. Other countries do it. It's okay to do.
Are you with Trump?
Sir, are the Jews controlling Trump because we got a closed border?
Are you with
So
Trump?
did the Jews make Biden open the border, or did the Jews? Because right now, no zero crossings for illegal aliens. No. So are the Jews
And you
controlling
still
Trump?
don't have jobs.
But because guess what? The black man that you said, Brandon Johnson, he
The job
signed
is not
executive
for us.
orders.
The job is not for
Well, so
us.
why didn't Brandon Johnson, why did he's protecting them and say, you know what? I want to give the black citizens those jobs, so I'm not going to do that.
Because the money that he needs to run the city, if he don't, they not going to give it to him.
So Brandon Johnson's useless. See, we're no longer going to adopt this. Oh, they're not going to do this. And either you can't half-ass this. You're going to stand on business. If you're going to be our politician, if you're going to be our mayor, you're going to be our president, you're going to be our councilman, our representative, our senator, you got to stand on business. Oh, they might, then why the hell are you running? Why are you running for office? Be one family, if you're a person who is afraid to die, we don't want you in office. I'm going to say this. If you're not afraid to kill, if you are afraid to kill, I don't want you in office. I don't want you representing me. No. I'm willing to take life and give my life behind them three. I am willing to do that. But big man, you got the bike, you got the truck, you're going to doing content. What does that mean if my children are dead? I'm not doing this solely for me. I have an enjoyment of riding motorcycles, yes. But I'm building something. I'm building something that my children can take over. I'm building something that might put me in a position to bring my son in. Hey, Dad, I love engineering. All right, cool. Let's get you to over now. You know what I do opens the doors. Like, hey, let's get you to be one of the top engineers for Honda Racing or somebody else. Or you put you in a position where you become the top engineer and Honda Racing hires you, contracts you to help them develop a new engine. Suzuki or whoever. Boule, that's here in America. They contract you, say, hey, we want to make a new engine. We seen your work. I'm trying to do that. That's what I do this for. These scary ass Negroes are part of the reason why we're where we are. Well, we haven't gotten any further. So as we delineate, we gotta clear the field. Some of our family members, we just gotta cut out the conversation. It is what it is. It's a hard thing to say, but it is what it is. We got to cut them out the conversations because all they do is come in here, because all they do is come in here and gum up the works. And they want Trump, Trump, Biden, left wing, right wing. It's all the same bird. Once again, shout out to our brother Afro Elite. He had a great event where the kids were able to come out and get school supplies. Shout out to that brother for hosting that. Shout out for somebody to capture this conversation. Chicago, I stand and I rock with y'all delineating. I rock with y'all calling out these politicians. I rock with y'all getting these illegals out of the way so babies can go back and having their after-school programs so you can build up your communities and have what you need. And I rock with all my brothers and sisters who are around the United States that are fighting the good fight against the illegals, these janky-ass Democrat politicians. They ain't about nothing. And anybody standing in the way of foundational Black Americans and the delineation movement. It's FBA all day and be one.